Jack Nicholson is a highly celebrated actor who has enjoyed a prolific career in Hollywood. Sadly, in recent years, he's been largely absent from the public eye. Recent reports have indicated the star's rapidly declining health is likely to blame. With a resume like Jack, it's only natural that his absence from Hollywood in the last decade has been something both audiences and his fellow actors have noticed. Although he's never officially announced his retirement, Nicholson hasn't appeared in a movie since 2010. Keep watching to find out the heartbreaking reason why Jack Nicholson hasn't been around much in recent years. His last film was a major flop. The lackluster rom-com How Do You Know hit theaters in 2010. It featured seriously big names like Owen Wilson, Reese Witherspoon, Paul Rudd, and Jack. While all these stars are typically known for appearing in blockbusters, this film ended up being both a critical and commercial failure. Against its massive $120 million budget, the movie only made back a little over a third of that, and it was panned by critics virtually everywhere. 4 years later, the LA Times named it one of the costliest box office failures of all time. It's quite possible Nicholson decided he didn't want to further taint his otherwise glowing legacy by agreeing to appear in more subpar films in the future. Or maybe rumors of his declining health are true, and that's why he's been so reclusive. Either way, How Do You Know is the last time we've seen him in a major motion picture. Before we tell you more, be sure to give this video a like and subscribe to Factsverse if you haven't already. He's turned down several film roles in the last 12 years. Despite appearing in a few duds, Nicholson has starred in numerous highly regarded and commercially successful films throughout his career, including As Good as It Gets, About Schmidt, and The Departed. In recent years, however, Jack has passed on a few film roles that ended up going to other veteran actors. A few of these went on to become enormously successful films. Following the success of About Schmidt, Alexander Payne offered Nicholson the lead in his 2013 film Nebraska, but Nicholson declined the offer. The lead instead went to actor Bruce Dern, who went on to be nominated for an Academy Award for Best Actor for his performance. It's further been reported that Nicholson turned down a role in the Ted Melfi film St. Vincent. It was said that Jack was Melfi's first choice, but after he passed on it, the role went to Bill Murray. Bill Murray was nominated for a Golden Globe for Best Actor in a musical or comedy for his performance in that flick. While it remains unclear why Nicholson turned down these opportunities, especially since they were both from filmmakers with glowing reputations, the decision likely had less to do with the roles themselves and more with Nicholson's declining health and lack of desire to keep acting. Nicholson almost starred in a remake of a European comedy. In 2017, Variety ran a story indicating he was gearing up to star in an English-language remake of a 2016 German movie called Toni Erdmann. The original film was about a father who was trying to reconnect with his estranged daughter. Nicholson was the name most closely associated with the film, but other reports indicated Bill Murray was also interested. When the news of the film first broke, actress Kristen Wiig was announced to be the co-star, playing Nicholson's daughter. Paramount Pictures was stated to be making the film, and Will Ferrell and Adam McKay, in addition to Wiig, were listed as producers. Later, it was confirmed that Jenny Connor and Lena Dunham were attached to the film as writers. 18 months after the movie was announced, Nicholson dropped out for unknown reasons. While Ferrell, McKay, and Wiig remain attached to the film, Connor and Dunham have moved on to other projects. As of 2022, it remains in development. With age, Jack's attitude towards Hollywood has changed. In a 2013 interview with The Sun, Jack admitted that as he's grown older, some of the allure of Hollywood has faded. He told the outlet he doesn't want to keep working until the day he dies, and that was never what he wanted when he first started. Later in the interview, Jack revealed there's always been a part of him that never liked being in Hollywood, and he merely learned how to function in the environment to get his work done. Nicholson added that taking on new film roles was a great source of stress for him. He explained that whenever he signs on to a role, he often thinks about other actors that would be better suited for it, and that he often worries about what he's going to do if he can't handle it. Jack then discussed how the movie landscape has changed over the years. While he's always been committed to doing films about emotions that move people, he expressed he was worried that younger audiences no longer want to be moved. A source close to Jack says his health is rapidly failing. Last year, the UK news outlet Express ran an eye-opening story that shed a little light on why we haven't seen Nicholson in years. According to that article, a source close to Nicholson told gossip celebrity news site Radar that the star was living out the remainder of his sad last days at his LA mansion. Although there has been no confirmation from either Nicholson or his spokespeople that his health is failing, that same source told Radar Nicholson no longer leaves his house and his son and daughter have taken over caring for his responsibilities. The source said that the Mulholland Drive community Nicholson is a part of is rather close-knit, and they've been worried about him for quite some time. The source went into specifics, saying that while physically Nicholson is doing just fine, it's his mind that's fading. In an unrelated story run by Closer Weekly following the death of Kobe Bryant, the outlet published a quote by Nicholson expressing his grief over the loss of the famed NBA star. The article went on to say Nicholson is currently making up for lost time by spending time with his friends and family while doing his best to live out the remainder of his life to the fullest. Nicholson's kids frequently visit him. Jack's one and only marriage to actress Sandra Knight lasted 6 years. For the next couple of decades, the list of women he dated read like a who's who of Hollywood's hottest actresses and socialites. Nicholson has fathered 6 children with 5 different women. Today, his daughter Jennifer is in her late 50s. She was the only child he fathered with his ex-wife Sandra Knight. He had 2 children, Lorraine and Ray, with his ex Rebecca Broussard. These 3 kids all reportedly make frequent visits to Jack's LA home. His other 3 children, Caleb, Honey, and Tessa, he's far less close to and rarely gets a chance to see. When his kids were younger, Jack was hardly ever around. Reportedly, this is one of his biggest regrets in life. So it makes sense that as he gets up there in age, he would make a point to prioritize family. It also makes a lot of sense that if his mental faculties are indeed deteriorating, Jack's kids would be more than willing to go out of their way to spend some time with him. Because with things like dementia, you can never get back what's lost. So Jack could be in a situation where he sees the proverbial writing on the wall. Knowing his time is limited, he might be attempting to set things right while he still can. Now it's time to hear from you. Do you think you'll ever see Jack Nicholson on the screen again? Let us know in the comments section below. And before you go, make sure you give this video a like and subscribe to Facts First if you haven't already. Click the bell icon to stay updated on all our latest content. By the way, if you haven't joined Facts First as a member yet, be sure to look below this video and click the join button. By becoming a paid member of Facts First, you'll get access to exclusive video content that you won't find anywhere else. This includes some of our more mature content that isn't suitable for public audiences, which includes topics like Hollywood actresses who posed for Playboy and some of the steamiest moments in movie history. Plus, you can enjoy these videos completely ad-free. Our biggest fans will notice they also get badges next to their name when they leave comments on our videos. We pay special attention to comments from our members, and so do other viewers. So if you want exclusive content from Facts First or inside access to discussions with other community members, click the join button to get started for just $4.99.